That's fine. Yep. All right, ready, Justin?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it.
Where's Arsalan? Somewhere.
All right, he's on the
Hello,
right.
everybody. My name is Justin Langseth, founder, CEO of Zoomdata, and we're here to give you a quick glimpse at Zoomdata and how it's integrated with Spark. So Zoomdata is all about putting a human interface on top of big data. So our audience is normal business people, not nerds like me who come to Spark conferences on robots. We're trying to go to work with normal business people. So our goal is to connect to data in all its different big data repositories. So we have connectors to Spark, to Cloudera Impala, and to other kinds of big data repositories. And our goal with Zoomdata is to bring the power of all those big data systems to people through data visualizations. So we spend a lot of time making our user interfaces very easy to use and very easy to understand in terms of being able to view data. Zoomdata also provides the interfaces on a broad array of devices. So we have broad support for tablet devices as well as computer devices, and we're also working with virtual reality and augmented reality devices such as Oculus Rift. And our goal is to make it possible for normal people to access and use these data without knowing SQL and without knowing any programming skills. So Farzad will then demo how Zoomdata works on top of Databricks and on top of Spark, as well as on top of other big data repositories.
Thank you, Justin. Good afternoon, everyone. A little hard to go when Argentina's playing right now, but I hope to make this exciting and make it worth your time. What I'm going to do now is, since we have a short amount of time to go through the demo, I'll go through a quick rundown of a demo, and then we'll go much deeper into our session that's coming up later on today at 1:20. Essentially, what you're looking at here is the Zoomdata interface. Oh, let's see if the internet connects. Is everyone streaming the game? All right, let's try that. All right, sorry guys, give me 1 second. On the Wi-Fi? Okay.
Making some progress there, Farzad?
No, hold on 1 second. There we go. Woo!
All right.
Sorry about that. All right, so What we've done at Zoomdata, we've spent a lot of time trying to build an interface that makes sense for the everyday business user and really try to mask the complexity that lives underneath the hood as we look at where the various places that the data sits on. So sort of continuing on the theme of the World Cup, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look at a real-time stream of tweets coming about the World Cup. And I'm showing you actually one of our visualizations that we started working on, which is sort of really nice on a touch interface, and you could see it in our booth, where essentially I could tell this visual that I want to look at a bar chart. So again, here, I'm looking at tweets coming in about the World Cup. We look at the most common hashtags and the volume. We see this, that it's playing. It's almost like a DVR, so I'm going to go ahead and rewind back in time to see what people were talking about earlier. I can go ahead and sort of fast forward that, so I'm looking at 60 seconds per frame. I'm seeing things update. Now I can explore. Let's take a look at who is tweeting. Maybe what I want to do is display a color legend, look at things getting favorited as people are tweeting, and maybe change the color to be more of a blue palette. And again, without any programming, I'm able to basically look at this information, update. I'm going to go back to the hashtags, slow this down a little bit, and I'm going to start building a dashboard. So here I'm going to start putting together various visualizations. I'm going to bring in a trend report. So I sort of expect this dot continue to move up as people are tweeting about the World Cup. What I'm going to do now is bring a pie chart in. I'll bring a word cloud as well as a world map. And now I'm going to start arranging this to start looking at 5 different views of the data. So I'll have my pie chart. Maybe I want to look at the different languages that are used. As I look at my word cloud, maybe let's take a look at who's tweeting and maybe rank them by how many followers they have. I'll look at the average follower count. And then let's bring the world map down here and make this bar chart a little bit bigger. So here again, I'm taking a look at 5 different views of the tweets coming in. Now I can start interacting across these visuals. So maybe I want to look at people that are tweeting from Brazil. So by just clicking that, right away I applied a filter, looking at what people are saying in Brazil, not surprisingly a lot of Portuguese, and also who are the people that are talking. Maybe I want to switch to the US. They're playing soon. So we'll take a look at what people are saying, and then I can start interacting. Maybe I don't want to look at the World Cup tweets, so I'm going to exclude that. Here we see people, what they're talking about. We'll look at Dream to Real. It sounds like he has a lot of followers, 19,000 followers. And there I go linking back in to the tweet. Now, looking underneath the hood of Zoomdata, we actually support connection to a variety of data sources. So we sit both on-premise and on the cloud. And as you can see here, we support Spark, obviously, as well as connections to Impala, Presto, and a variety of other SQL sources, whether they're on the cloud through Redshift and RDS, or on-premise sitting in Oracle, MySQL, or SQL Server. In addition to SQL stores, we also support search indices, whether that data is in Cloudera Search, Elasticsearch, or Solr. We support MongoDB, which is a NoSQL store, as well as flat files and streaming data. Now, we're really excited about the work that the Databricks cloud offering is bringing, and we've been working very closely with them on an integration path. And I'm going to show you some of the early steps that we've taken towards that integration path. So from here, I can go ahead and link into my Zoomdata cloud on Databricks. I've spun up 3 clusters here, pre-nominal sizes, nothing like a terabyte. And I've also pointed to 2 different data sets sitting in my S3 bucket. One is UFO sightings that have been reported to the UFO National Reporting Center. And then the other is actually 40 million sales transaction histories that I have in my relational store. And this mimics sort of a fictitious retailer. Now, as shown, the data scientists have all of the flexibility through the notepad to go ahead and interact with this data, whether it's in SQL, Scala, Python, etc. But what if we wanted the business user to start interacting with this data as well? So as you can see here, I can go ahead and actually launch into my Zoomdata interface. I can read in the clusters that I have access to. And then from there, you'll see also the same data types or the same data stores that I had in my S3 bucket in Databricks, also available in Zoomdata. And then what I could do is go ahead and interact with this similar to what I was showing you guys earlier. So here, I've just built a dashboard earlier on that shows basically the UFO sightings by various group buys and information, and also their potential influence on this retailer's sales record. So again, here we look at different lighting. So maybe I want to look at people reporting circles. On the duration, let's look at 5 minutes. We could see the different states. Maybe I want to go ahead and drill in to California. I'll go ahead and zoom into the cities. And again, right away, I can see San Diego here, and I want to see the details. And there you go. You have access to the details. We could link back to the original source. So here I can see the actual report that had been reported on this website, and then have the ability to interact also in a pivot table fashion with the other data store. In this case, the 40 million transactions that are historical in nature. So here again, maybe I want to add a group by on gender and break this out by columns. And you'll see that information being accessed through the Spark RDD. And that information is available here. Again, I want to keep this demo very short and sweet and sort of re-emphasize the fact that we support a variety of data sources. We're very excited about the integration that we're doing with Spark and Databricks. And we'll be going much more deeper into what's underneath the hood in terms of the Zoomdata architecture and what are some of the other various use cases and innovations that we've done in the phases of making everyday analytics possible for the everyday business user. Thank you.
All right. Well. Okay, so now we'll have just maybe a couple minutes of chat. Farzad, you and I will sit. Justin, you can stand. All right, and one more chair. Here you go. This will be my first interview with a robot or discussion, so it should be fun. Perfect. Go ahead. Have a seat. So Farzad, a quick question. I mean, we saw the demo, right? You guys mentioned Spark. We'd love to hear a little bit what drew you guys to Spark. You had a ton of different sources and engines that you used there. What was it about Spark specifically that made you guys start using it?
Sure. Yeah, we're very excited about Spark as everybody is attending this conference. The things that we like about it, obviously it's fast, it's distributed, it plays great into our story of not only being able to access a variety of data sources, whether they're in flat files or sort of less performance-tuned sources, but also we have an opportunity to start fusing different data sets together, and that's when it comes to the data fusion fabric, we think Spark is going to be a great technology for us to use for that fusion.
And then, I mean, and so you guys have been building, I think we have obviously a lot of developers, so you had a couple of months. There's some things that went great. You also obviously had a couple of hiccups. Like, what are some of the lessons or experiences that you took away that for people who are starting with Spark, you might point out, paths to avoid and paths to take?
Sure. Yeah, we'll go a little bit more deeper in our session about the Spark story and sort of our history with it. But off the bat, the pros are it's a very clean API structure to work with. I think the flexibility of having the ability to use the Java APIs was great for us when it comes to the aggregation frameworks. Now, as we look at sort of some of the limitations, looking in a distributed world and having multiple applications, some of the things that we're trying to work through are the abilities to share Spark contexts across servers, as well as having the access to the Spark RDDs across sources as well.
Okay. And then, obviously, a ton of people are here. We've made great progress on Spark. So a year out, right, if we say, where would you like to see the Spark community be? What are kind of at the top of your wish list from a Zoomdata perspective building that you think would be great to see Spark add into its feature set?
Sure. Yeah, Justin, the robot, you want to take that?
Sure, yeah. So like I said, we're very excited about Spark SQL and Schema RDDs in general, even more importantly, because Schema RDD gives us great interoperability with Parquet data and other kind of data that already comes with structure. So I think if we can all rally around Schema RDD as a way to kind of keep the data, that's going to allow a lot of great interoperability across machine learning systems, across data ingestion systems, as well as allow tools like Zoomdata to access that and provide very, very fast interactive analysis directly on top of data regardless of where it's come from and regardless of what tools have been involved in enriching it.
Okay, fair. Well, in the interest of maybe keeping things going, because at noon we're going to lose everybody to the U.S. game. I just want to thank you guys again. Let's let the next guys get upstairs too. So
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much,
it.
guys.
All right. All right. I assume Justin needs some help getting down.
I'm just going to jump off.
Go ahead, man. It's all you.